Yo, what's up? What's going on? What's good? It's the Boxing Source here, and we got these comments from the former two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua. Looks like he took to Twitter to respond to a couple of comments, including some comments that were made by Demetrius Salita, the leader of Salita Promotions. Apparently, Demetrius Salita had made some comments a little bit earlier, but, I've had conversation with Demetrius Salita a couple months back, and he was talking about Otto Wallin as a potential opponent for Anthony Joshua, and that he said that he feels like Tyson Fury is the top heavyweight, but number two, right under Tyson Fury, is Otto Wallin, and he feels like a fight between Otto Wallin and Anthony Joshua would be a very good fight for Otto Wallin to show how good he is. But on Twitter, given the comments that were posted on, I guess it was Sky Sports or whatever it is, that Anthony Joshua on Twitter responded. He said, "I've shared this ring with most people that you've seen in the heavyweight division today. I boxed Otto Wallin twice as youngsters, and I boxed Joe, as in Joe Joyce, and stopped him in one round. I do the same thing today. Ain't nothing changed." I guess he's referring to what happened in the amateurs. He did fight Otto Wallin twice and was able to defeat Otto Wallin twice in the amateurs. He was able to defeat Joe Joyce in one round in the amateurs. According to BoxRec, that was the first amateur fight that Anthony Joshua had. So when I guess, people that were within Twitter bring up, potential guys that Anthony Joshua could fight here in place of Oleksandr Usyk, who it was likely not available to fight due to what's happening over in the Ukraine. So looks like, they're trying to find or come up with ideas for replacement opponents for Anthony Joshua in the interim. And, Otto Wallin and Joe Joyce are mentioned as potential opponents. Like I said, I mentioned Otto Wallin earlier, and Demetrius Salita would be really up for Otto Wallin being put in a position to fight Anthony Joshua. But Anthony Joshua, like I said, took to Twitter to talk about that. He also talked about, potentially fighting Deontay Wilder, as that's still a fight that is in demand by many boxing fans. And that, I feel like it would still be a fairly lucrative fight for both fighters at this particular point. But, at this particular juncture, from what I've, heard, that Deontay Wilder might not get back in the ring. I think, he's had his payments from, the fights that he had with Tyson Fury, the first, the second, and the third fight. Followed that up with the Brazil fight and the second Luis Ortiz fight, that he is basically set up, his career to get the money that he was seeking, while he was, WBC heavyweight champion up to the point where he lost to Tyson Fury in February 2020. But then in the rematch, he tried to get that WBC title back, ended up getting stopped, but he also ended up getting paid some good money too. So I'm like, hey, if you got all that good money, if you, got businesses set up, you got, things that, have you getting, money without doing much, then maybe you might not have that much interest in getting back in the ring, even though it could be one of the biggest fights there in the heavyweight division and probably one of the most lucrative fights in the heavyweight division. So as far as like a potential fight between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, I'm not sure if that is going to happen. But if it does, I'll be hyped for it. I'll definitely be hyped for it. But in the meantime, you have Anthony Joshua, of course, on Twitter. It looks like, responding to a couple of tweets that were made in reference to who he could potentially face if it looks like it's unlikely that the rematch between Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk is going to happen anytime soon. So there's that. But you can share your thoughts in reference to Anthony Joshua's comments that were posted here on Twitter, and any comments in reference to who we could potentially fight next. It could be Otto Wallin. It could be, Luis Ortiz. Could be Joe Joyce. I mean, you could, Robert Helenius maybe, could be any of those guys. But share your thoughts. And if you haven't done so already, you can subscribe to the Boxing Source. We really appreciate it. On that note, I'm out. Peace.